But we're going to talk about something not unpleasant, right, Mike? We're going to talk about something happy, joy.
Happy, joy. Today, we're not really going to be talking about happy, joy.
Welcome to Nice Ashes. Join hosts Mike and Nate for cigars and culture. Let's go beyond the smoke.
What are we smoking today, Nate?
Oh my God, I'm going to shotgun this beer, but we'll talk about that in a second. We are smoking the Quorum Shade, and I know that this is going to be a good one. This is the JC Newman Cigar Company, handmade Nicaragua, it says, and it was, according to the wrapper here, it was $4.29. So, Primo Deluxe, this is...
Yeah, recently purchased at a cigar shop.
Yeah, one of the more expensive sticks we've smoked on the show.
Oh, yeah.
Well, at this, now before we get into everything, Mike and I are a little frazzled because we just spent a full hour trying to get the audio stuff working, and nobody changed anything that we're aware of, and we don't know what we did to make it work again, but hot shit, we're back.
Yeah, it sounds better than ever.
We're ready to enjoy this fine cigar.
Oh, we've smoked a regular Quorum.
Yeah, I'm trying a brand new microphone out because, I don't know, I like to fuck with things. But the microphone didn't cause the audio issues for sure because it's on my end, not Mike's end. And Mike's end was the problem. Not Mike's fault that we know
I think that it was your microphone and that your new microphone caused my old microphone to be jealous.
I think so. It's jelly.
To connect.
Yeah, well, I wanted to try this out because it's super, super cheap, this microphone, and it's designed especially for podcasters, and it's shielded on the sides for guests. So if we're going to be doing more in-person guests, it might be a good thing to do, but I'm taking it for a trial run. Somebody was selling it on Marketplace for less than half price, and it's already a cheap microphone at like $40 to begin with. So,
oh wow, yeah, that's pretty reasonable. Even I know that.
I talked to our only listener, Keith, and he said for that much money, it's worth a shot. So here we are.
Perfect. I like how our sound engineer is the only listener of the show.
Well, we were about to call him for the hour we were fucking around with shit, but actually, luckily, shout out to the developer of the program we use, which is in WeCaster, because he was active and responsive on his Discord channel. So he was helping us as well. So can't really beat that.
No, we appreciate it. So what are you pairing your cigar with?
Oh, I'm going to cut this. Oh, yeah. I went and decided to not do the standard Nate drink. And I went and got the Shell's Oktoberfest because it's getting to be that time of season, Mike.
And that's a good beer.
Yes, indeed. What are you pairing with yours?
Well, being prejudiced against the cigar already, having smoked the Quorum before, I went with a fair chance, and I'm just going to drink Guinness and some ice water, even though I have to admit my ice water is gone because I didn't go refill before we started the show. That's how long we were troubleshooting. That's how long we were fucking around. I drank a whole glass of ice water.
He's going to have to take a pause for a bathroom break in a little bit, I'm sure.
Yeah, exactly. I didn't drink any of my beer, though, so.
Okay, yeah, I was waiting on my beer. It was mocking me as we were struggling through everything, and I was like, I'm going to drink the shit out of you when it's time.
Absolutely.
Did we smoke the Quorum on the show, Mike? The original one?
I believe that we did. I'm pretty sure. I can check the list. Google the show, right?
Well, I'm trying to check the list, but I guess I got to do the Control F.
Oh, yeah. Why don't you check the list? I know that I bought them for the show, but maybe we didn't. Hopefully we did.
No, it's just the two. We didn't do a Quorum on the show yet.
Oh, well, I have other Quorum cigars. Hopefully.
Unless I spelled it wrong, but I don't.
Quorum.
Well, unless I spelled it wrong earlier. I didn't spell it wrong now. Anyway, the first few puffs of this are not really that fantastic, Mike.
No, that's what I was about to say. Not looking great. I knew it wouldn't because I wasn't impressed with the original Quorum, so.
Yeah, it's not a spice so much as it is like an acrid thing that kind of globs onto your tongue almost.
Yeah.
Kind of like right in the middle.
It's like that acetone taste with like acid. Like battery acid. It's got that battery acid like tang, like that acidic burn.
Yeah, or like a copper penny or something like that. I don't know.
Yeah.
I mean, it's not fully metallic, but it's unpleasant.
Maybe I'm thinking of the Odyssey.
Oh, yeah.
I'm thinking I must be thinking of the Odyssey. because the wrappers look very similar.
Sure.
I must have confused
But I'm sure the
myself.
price point was very similar.
Very similar.
But we're going to talk about something not unpleasant, right, Mike? We're going to talk about something happy, joy.
Oh, happy, joy. Today, we're not really going to be talking about happy, joy.
Oh.
I hate to burst your bubble.
Damn it.
So today,
So wait, we had to fuck around with technology. We're smoking a nasty cigar, and we're not talking happy, joy. That's like the nice ashes trifecta.
I know, right? Yeah, a battery acid flavored cigar with talk about the United States involvement with Somalia. This is episode 2 of the Somali series, people. And,
episode 2. I was surprised by this lead date on here.
Well, which leap? Yeah, you mean from?
No, the lead, the first date on the date range.
Oh, why was 1789 misleading to you?
Well, 1776, we got our independence, so we didn't even wait 20 years before going to fuck with these people.
No, I picked 1789. Because 1789 is when the U.S. Constitution was established and the Articles of Confederation were abandoned.
Oh, okay. I was like, wow, they're getting after it. Like, yeah, we fought off the English. Let's go fuck with Somalia now. Let's go take care of that.
No. The real date is like 19. Yeah, the real date is 1960.
Sure. Okay, why don't I let Mike do the talking instead of Nate trying to figure out what everything means?
So the U.S. had limited involvement with Somalia from 1945 to 1960. The UN started a trusteeship period after Italy fell during the war. So for about 15 years after World War II, the UN was trying to run Somalia. The first real big date was July 1st, 1960. The United States established diplomatic relationships with Somalia following its constituent parts' independence, recognizing the newly formed Somali Republic. And that was Eisenhower era still. So in a modern context, we really started there in 1945. And we were trying to be the good guys as a post-colonial
good old white D.
African country. So we've had some audio issues again, people. So we're going to try to revamp here. The summation is that the United States was not involved with Somalia until 1945, and only indirectly until 1960 when we recognized their independence. Follow me so far, Nate, or are we lost?
Yep. Oh, no, we're not lost. I am up to speed on the 1960s geopolitical circumstances.
Yes. Yeah. So, in essence, Somalia is the story of many of the African nations. They were colonized by the Italians, and in that post-World War II period, they were, quote-unquote, reorganized. This reorganization included putting groups of people together that don't particularly like each other, like much of the other African countries, and that is kind of the root of the problems that they have. So from 1960 to 1969, Somalia leaned towards the USSR, and they established relations with the communist countries. Somalia had established diplomatic relations with the USSR, Albania, Bulgaria, Hungary, Romania, Czechoslovakia, and communist China. So they would have been a second world, or I guess second world, an aligned second world country.
Sure.
Second world country. If I'm remembering my terminology of the Cold War correctly, of course. Which that was news to me. I did not know that before we started this episode research.
Oh, yes.
Okay, you still got me, Nate?
Still got you.
Oh, man. We're on a roll here, people.
Well, don't jinx
We're on a roll. So, in 1969, the Somali army launched a coup, which brought a gentleman named Muhammad Said Barre, or Bar, to power. And Somalia became even more closely aligned to the Soviet Union. So, of course, the U.S. being the U.S., 1977 Somalia broke with the Soviet Union and turned to the United States. Somalia became an American ally and a strategic ally for the Cold War. The U.S. provided military aid and support to Said Barre's government as part of the Cold War strategy. Now, this lasted pretty well until the 1991, which happens to coincide with the downfall of communism. No doubt that is aligned. There was a group of rebels that drove Barre from Mogadishu. No central government reemerged to take the place of the overthrown government. The United States closed its embassy in 91, and they have not established diplomatic relations since. So, since 1991, at the fall of a U.S. puppet state at the end of the Cold War, they have basically been a civil war, is how that reads.
Sure.
Which is like, that's crazy. That's real crazy.
Yeah, it's
right?
It's nuts.
Yeah, that's really nuts. Do you have any thoughts on that, Nate?
Well, I mean, communism is bad, okay? And so that's thought number one. So write that down. It's interesting because I know last episode we said that I was going to be doing some research on Somali literature, and I've been doing that, and that'll be ready relatively soon here in our series. But and of course, this episode is framed around the U.S. involvement in there, and I think that the infighting in Somalia has been taking place for a long, long time. From what I understand, there's at least 5 distinct tribes. And one of the books I'm reading is actually a memoir about a Somali who lived through this period that we're talking about and came to America and wrote a book. So I'll have more thoughts on that. I don't want to spoil anything going forward, but yeah, I mean, so basically what the Soviets, communism, we won. And then we just said, fuck off Somalia and left.
That's, yeah, more or less. We abandoned their government, which I didn't do any research to see if it was a dictatorship, but I assumed that it was.
Yeah.
Right. Like, I'm guessing it was a dictatorship.
Yeah. Well, from what I gathered from the memoir I'm reading, this Barre guy was not very well liked by anybody. And the people that ran him out weren't liked by people either. I mean, it all depended on what tribe you were from. So it's not like anyone that they would pick would be, they don't have like a unifying group, as it were, because it's a bunch of random tribes,
Yeah, the tribes all hate each other. They almost should not be in the same country together.
Yeah, I mean, it'd be like us if we said, hey, I live in Minnesota. The presidential candidate is not from Minnesota, so I'm not voting for him.
Right.
I mean, more or less. We have it kind of regionally here, like cities versus rural, but we don't really have that. It's different. It's a different part of the world. So yeah,
it's a different culture. We don't have that strong cultural alliance with tribal groups or clans. Yeah. It's like county politics, like everybody votes for that guy because they're all related. Like that's the sort of shit, but whole countrywide, and they're killing each other.
Yeah.
Not like local politics and like that sort of.
Yeah, local
it's
politics.
It's important, but it's not. Nobody's dying,
And the other kind of equivalent might be religion, right? So within the Protestant religion, you've got all these different synods, and they all believe the same Bible, but how they implement the Bible, or who can be a pastor and who can marry and what age you baptize the children at, that's all hotly contested.
Right. Yeah,
Carry on, Mike. Are you about halfway with your cigar, Mike? I know I was kind of smoking when you were fucking with technology.
Not even close, dude.
Let me tell you, it gets so much better.
You are a liar because I had to relight it. It still has strong notes of acetone and battery acid.
He caught me. Well, some people really like that, Mike. I think you should be not so quick to judge. I don't know if my tongue went numb or if it's a little mellowed out. I will say the acidity kind of dropped. It's still there, but it's not as fresh or powerful.
Fresh and powerful.
Well, no, I mean like the acid.
Yes,
like,
no,
it's
I
still
understand.
There,
this
but
is
it's
terrible,
it's mellowed
guys.
out a bit.
I'm laughing because this cigar is awful.
Yeah, we could cut together a little promo like this cigar, fresh and powerful. All right, cut, print, next one.
Exactly. It is.
The quorums will be flying off the shelves because Keith went to go buy them all up. All he heard was fresh, powerful quorum.
Damn right.
Yes. Quaker State, Energizer, Duracell, Quorum. The best battery acids. Interstate. All the different car batteries.
Awful.
I guess if you want the battery acid taste, like $4 is a lot cheaper than $80 or something for a car battery. So
it is. It's really a time saver and a money maker. You know?
It's an economical way to experience that high of drinking battery acid right out of the forbidden block.
Yep.
Speaking about forbidden blocks, Mike, let's get back to Somalia.
Nice segue. So after a few months plus a year, the United States decided to get involved in Somalia. So from August of 92 to March of 1994, the U.S. undertook operations in Somalia. They were initially greeted by the Somalis and happy to be saved from starvation. But the U.S. troops slowly got drawn into interclan power struggles and tried to do some nation building that didn't go particularly well.
That sounds like those icebreakers they make you do in corporate America when you're on like a seminar retreat, and they're like, we're going to do some nation building here.
Right? Exactly.
Give me 2 truths and a lie.
Yep. So the United States got the help of the UN, and the UN sent a second mission to Somalia, and they're still involved. Let's put it that way.
Sure.
So from 95 to 2001, the U.S. maintained diplomatic relationships, but they removed their military forces, or our military forces, in preference for the UN to take control of the situation.
Yeah.
So, I mean, 25% of the UN budget comes from the United States. So
that's like
the
a
US,
quarter, Mike.
That's like a quarter. So the U.S. is still involved in Somalia in this period. They're just doing it through a proxy. That proxy being the UN.
Sure.
And then the UN kind of shifted focus to counterterrorism pre-2001. I'm sure that went really well.
Yeah, I think that worked.
Yeah, that really worked. So we all know what happened in 2001. Some of us were alive then and remember it very clearly. The U.S. in 2001 refocused its attention on Somalia as a part of the broader global war on terror. In 2003, the U.S. did its first counterterrorism operation, quote unquote. And from 2003 to 2021, the U.S. did 263 counter-terrorist airstrikes, drone strikes, and ground raids. So not super active, but the U.S. has been doing military operations in Somalia pretty consistently during that period, at least once a month, right? Like, they're doing operations, not troops on the ground operations, but operations.
Yeah. Who's your daddy?
Yeah, exactly. In 2004, there was a new puppet government installed, and the U.S. acknowledged them. In 2006 through 2007, the government was overthrown and the Islamic Course Union took over. Al-Shabab formed in Somalia, which was a part of their actual government. And then in 2006...
it's not like the mock United Nations. It's, let's just put kids in charge.
Right. Like, so Al-Shabab, the terrorist group, was a subsidiary of the Somali government. And then the U.S.
Like real life Lord of the Flies shit there.
Yeah, exactly. And then in 2006, the U.S. backed Ethiopia, and Ethiopia invaded Somalia to overthrow their government. And then the U.S. again helped establish a government, more or less, because 2007, the U.S., the Amazon took over. And then, apparently the government was overthrown again in 2012. There's a whole bunch of governments that are falling and getting reestablished and falling and reestablished.
Yeah, and this is every couple of years, it seems.
Every couple years, they're having government changes, and it's one... some terrorist group backed government is overthrowing a different terrorist group backed government. There are no like Boy Scouts on any of these political factions.
Yeah, I would be curious, Mike, and I see you don't really have it here, and it's probably out of range and depth of this episode, but all these different fucking governments, I would be very curious to see if they were all different clans because of their clan-based society. It would be incredibly easy for different terrorist organizations to go to different clans and say, hey, your clan's not in power right now. How would you like to be in power? We can support you and overthrow that other clan that's now in power. So I think that's probably an important thing to potentially keep in mind because it's not, Somalia isn't like America or like England or things of that nature in the way that their society functions. And I'm not saying that's good or bad. I'm just, when we say that, different terrorist-backed organizations or different country-backed organizations came in and took over, it very well could be that they're just playing the tribes and clans off of one another.
I think that you're onto something, and that's how this always goes. Like these war-torn areas, that's how it always works. One side exploits resentment, and then they overthrow the other group, And then the little sub-faction gets resentment as a part of that. And then it's just a cycle over and over and over again.
Yeah.
Because they're just picking these external forces are using internal groups against each other to use Somalia as a base of operations in the war on terror right now. Like that has been the recent development.
Sure.
Yeah.
It's like I think that proxy battlefield or something.
It is like a proxy battlefield. Yeah. Yep. Exactly. Because, there was a U.S.-backed government more or less from 7 to 12. And then in 12, Al-Qaeda took over. And then with the U.S. continued bombing. And then it's just being run by a terror state, right?
Sure.
And then it's increasing and increasing. And then in 2008, they had a different government change, and the U.S. reestablished diplomatic relations, and they built an embassy, which is the first since 91.
Yeah, that was 2018, though, right? Not 2008.
Yeah, 2018. So it's very strange. Like, the Trump administration ramped up bombing, and then they established a new government, and then they immediately built an embassy. And this is recent. This is 18.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah. So from 21 to 24, they pretty much ramped down airstrikes. And in 24, they only did 10. And that was the lowest number, right?
Sure.
And the thing that I kind of want to get across in this whole episode, because we're going to be talking about other topics in relation to Somalia, is that there's been 43 airstrikes in 2025. So in 24, it was the lowest number. And this year, it's going to be the highest number. So whatever is going on in Somalia right now is not good for us because it has dramatically increased whatever is going on there.
Well, and likely less good for the Somalis.
Oh, terrifyingly horrible for the Somalis. And we being in Minnesota will be directly affected by that because we have the largest Somali community outside of Somalia in Minneapolis.
Yep.
Right? So tertiarily, like through them, we are also affected. Not that we are as affected as the human beings that are being destroyed in Somalia right now. Right? Obviously.
Well, sure. Yeah. And I think that's maybe, and we're trying to keep all of this, in focus.
What I'm trying to do is establish a background for an analysis. Because this all goes into our data pool, right? Like,
well, yeah, it all goes into the data pool. And, and normally I'd be all about the data set because that's basically what I do in my day job. But this is not sales quotas. And this is, bombing in actual human beings. And
yes.
It's important to note. And, like the different clans and their society is structured differently than ours, for sure, and differently than a lot of them. Well, yeah, it's very foreign. And it's even structured differently than a lot of the countries that we're aware of and regularly kind of do business with, right? Like even, I don't know, I guess to some extent like China, Australia, England, almost anywhere in Europe. We're all more or less structured similarly. I guess, I don't know, Mike, maybe a good analogy would be the Native American tribes when the Europeans first came over, because they didn't have like one leader or monarch that spoke for all of the Native Americans, but they didn't all interact with each other either.
All right. All the bands across the entire of the current country of the United States. There had to have been hundreds of groups. Hundreds of chiefs, if not thousands. And then you had the Iroquois Nation and then also small bands of Sioux. And then the Navajo Nation. And they were like a nation state with established farming and all that sort of thing. But yeah, Somalia is, like I say, this where I'm trying to establish an understanding about what's going on there now and what has been going on there in recent times, because the Somali immigrants that we're getting now and then are survivors of this horrifying civil war and period of colonialism followed by like Cold War militarization and dictatorship, right? Because this has not been a good run for them this century in Somalia, right?
No. Well, and I guess maybe the crazy thing is that it doesn't seem like anybody actually wants to even be there. Like we're bombing them, but it's not like we're trying to help them build infrastructure.
No.
And like Al-Qaeda isn't like, hey, we're going to, build a sweet, cool base here and the economy is going to boom a little bit. And like, let's hire some international companies that have them build a nuclear power plant for us so we can have electricity. Like that's not what their plans are. No, they're fucking bombing. We're bombing. Everybody's bombing. And, it's playing off the, proxy battlefield. They're all the different terrorist groups and all the different clans and tribes in Somalia are taking their turn in the driver's seat and everybody else is suffering.
Right. Yes. Yeah. There's no way that if you're an adult now who is Somalian and you grew up in Somalia that you don't have like serious trauma from living there. It's been a war zone for the living memory of every person on Earth right now.
Yeah. Well, back to 77 for sure.
For sure. 77. I would argue, maybe even 69, maybe earlier than that. It's hard to say.
Well,
you know what I mean? It's hard to say.
It's definitely hard to say, and we'll talk about some of this in the literature episode, but it's not been a happy place, which is unfortunate.
Yeah. This has been one of the worst places on Earth, unfortunately. So that'll play in later. So, so we got some stats now that we have kind of an overview of the U.S.'s involvement with the Somalian struggle for peace, was how we'll call it,
Yeah.
So, the U.S. in the last 25 years has dropped around 300 airstrikes. The U.S. only claims it's like 1,900 casualties in these airstrikes, if you can believe it. I don't know who would ever believe that is true. Like, they probably killed 2,000 terrorists, but how many civilians have they killed?
That's some rose-colored glasses statistic right there.
Yeah, that is not a real statistic. I don't care what it says. Oh, there we go. Two U.S. Special Forces personnel, 2 contractors, 1 Army soldier, and a CIA officer have died in Somalia. That's it. That is the extent of the U.S. casualties, according to the government, in 25 years.
Yeah.
That seems crazy. Like, we are not involved on the ground there. We're just bombing.
Yeah. Which makes the other stat all the more unbelievable.
Which makes the other stat all the more unbelievable. Like, it is literally just bomb, 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 bomb.
Yeah.
Crazy. Apparently, the U.S. has spent $3 billion in the last decade trying to support the government that was in control from 2007 to 2020.
Yeah, but you know what's too expensive, Mike?
What's that, Nate?
Erasing student loan debt and or universal health care. Too expensive.
Right.
300 airstrikes on the African continent. Not that expensive.
By the way,
you got to look at the cost savings.
Yeah. Not only did we give him $3 billion of financial support, we gave him an additional $2 billion for security support. So it's looking like we gave him $5 billion for a failed government.
Yeah, plus whatever the fuck the bombs cost.
Right. Plus whatever wasn't officially supposed to go there.
Yeah.
Apparently, Somalia gets the most aid of any sub-Saharan African country. They said it was during that period. It was the U.S.'s number 1 ally.
Sure. Do they count the bombs and the aid or what? Like, we're here, let's help you.
Yeah, I don't know. Apparently, al-Shabab...
like $5 billion is nothing to sneeze at, but...
No, $5 billion is nothing Nate, I agree with your point. Like, we waste so much money on failed military ventures, and then the government makes the excuse that we can't afford doing things that would benefit us significantly. Like, we spent over
20 years to replace the Taliban with the Taliban.
And trillions of dollars.
That's how fucking
trillions
stupid
of dollars
the military industrial complex is.
Dude, the Pentagon lost an unknown amount of money because all the records that showed how much it lost fell down in Building 7 on September 11th.
Yeah.
Right? That is the fucking military-industrial complex. Magically, all the records that showed how much money they lost were destroyed in a terrorist attack. Right?
Yeah.
Like, I'm not saying that it's not a coincidence, but that's a pretty big fucking coincidence.
Yeah. Almost as big as a successful assassination that took the attention away from voting no 3 hours later on releasing the Epstein files.
Yeah, weird that. Real weird.
Again, correlation does not equal causation for any of you that are chomping at the bit.
No. And it's not like that gentleman was working for a foreign government that was heavily involved with that individual. And there were rumors that they were going to break that relationship.
Yes.
Yeah, nothing like that. Weird.
Only in Somalia. Minecraft.
Right. There we go. So, since 14, al-Shabab, which is the terrorist organization out of Somalia, has killed more U.S. citizens than any other terrorist group. I guess they're the most successful terrorist group.
And that's the kids
apparently
one, the child one?
the al-Shabab, yeah, I think so. Yeah, they're like the child soldiers. And then apparently right now, 2025, Somalia is somehow Al-Qaeda's biggest moneymaker because Al-Qaeda is running it and
Sure.
they are feeding the organization the most money out of any of the countries they run.
Are they like
Which is
selling
crazy that Al-Qaeda runs
quat
multiple
out of there,
countries.
or-
I'm guessing that it's the pirates or their I'm guessing, if I'm 100% honest, I think that Al-Qaeda gets paid by the United States, either directly or indirectly.
Well, sure.
For instance, in the country with Bashir al-Assad, the gas attacks.
Yeah, one of them. I don't know what country, but I know what you're talking about.
Oh, I mean, the name of the country is going to come to me. But the U.S. has backed Al-Qaeda in that country to take it over.
Yeah.
And the U.S. backed Al-Qaeda to take over Afghanistan. So the U.S. is giving them money. Like, if aid goes to those countries, it's going to Al-Qaeda.
Yeah. I think you're forgetting the important universal truth, Mike.
And what is that?
Superman doesn't have anything to do without Lex Luthor. He's just Clark Kent.
That is very true. That is very true.
I'm not trying to say Superman pays to have Lex Luthor, fund Lex Luthor's lab or anything like that. But
Right. All
if he
I'm
doesn't
saying
have
is
a
that
bad guy to fight, then there's no point in having
the United
Superman.
States fought Al-Qaeda for 20 years in Afghanistan. Somehow $300 billion of the arms disappeared in Afghanistan. And then Al-Qaeda was backed by the U.S. to take over Afghanistan after being fought for 20 years. And then they were given all the equipment that was there by the United States. It's very strange.
Strange things.
Very strange. It's almost like they were just giving them weapons to fight with the whole time.
Maybe sometimes I wish that I were a smart guy, but I'm just a dumb guy and I don't know what's going on.
Weird.
Trump tells me it's all good. It's all good. Pedophiles, I guess they're all good. I don't know.
That's what
Trump says.
That Epstein list is a hoax. A hoax.
But also,
They just want to distract you.
I was trying to infiltrate that. I was a CIA informant, but it's a hoax. Definite hoax.
Not real.
What are you infiltrating then, man? So I don't know. Somalia. My cigar is nasty as fuck, dude. And
I was really, really trying to vamp for you to be done because I am out of stuff.
Yeah, well, I know you're out of stuff. We had some tech issues. This cigar is nasty as fuck. I don't know. I'm trying to think if there's anything I hate more, but obviously there is. Like the Underground Shade was nasty. I hated the Raji's untimely demise. That was earlier this season. The Edición Especial was terrible. This thing is. I'm going to do a 0.5. I don't envision a world where I would ever smoke this again. I would go to Somalia and chew quat leaves before I would smoke this thing again.
This cigar, I'm still only at the halfway point. I'll be honest with you guys. I've been trying to not smoke it because it is terrible. It is awful.
I will say, Mike, the halfway point was my favorite point of the whole cigar because once you got past the halfway point, it turned into the first part of it again. And the acidity was back, and it was nasty, and it was gross and overpowering. But for a brief interlude there in the middle, it kind of dissipated, and you were left with an unpleasant taste still, but you thought to yourself, gee, the acidity went down. Maybe it's going to get better. And then it came back with the acidity and said, fuck you. I'm not getting better. I am back on my bullshit.
You're talking me into it. I'm getting some cedar note. Still got battery acid undertone. I'm not going to tell you lies, but I'm imagining a cedar note just because I'm right in the middle. I'm like, I want it to be true. I want it to be true.
Well, the middle was the best part, but it still was not good. So don't confuse best part of absolute horseshit with something good that we would recommend because I can't do it. This one is not good.
Yeah. It's Quorum Shade, battery acid and acetone.
Yep. Yes. Don't do it. Don't do it. Don't do it. We've got at least 3, probably 4 more, we've got 3, maybe 4 more Somali episodes. We're going to do a literature one. We've got some others that Mike's already got worked up. We're going to intersperse them kind of every other episode. and get to the culmination of all the data points. And that's kind of going to be the end goal. Next episode is going to be pretty fun, but we're doing another quorum. So I don't know. Do or don't expect a good cigar. It might be way better. Could be. Otherwise,
if it's not better, oh my god.
If it's not better, you're gonna think we're at like 2x speed because I'm gonna talk like this, and we'll be through it in about 15 minutes. But I'm excited about the next episode. I was excited about this episode. I'm excited that you were listening. Have a good week, and we'll catch you next time.
Be safe. Have fun.